Hello everybody! There are a lot of ways to make American goulash. Today I'm going to be making it like my late grandmother made it. So we'll go over to the counter and look at the ingredients. For this recipe I am going to need 1 pound of ground beef. I happen to be using 90/10 because that's what was at the store yesterday. A tablespoon of the dried minced onion, a tablespoon of the minced garlic out of the jar, 1 can of condensed tomato soup, and 1 can of water. Got to cook the ground beef with the onion and garlic. Add the soup and the water. I'm going to boil 1 cup of pasta. I'm going to thicken this mixture with flour, 2 tablespoons of flour, and mix that with a little bit of water to make kind of a paste. I'm going to add 1 package of sweetener. My grandmother used equal. I want to use a tablespoon of sugar. And then when that's all done, sprinkle the top with whatever cheese you want. I happen to have cheddar jack, so that's what I'm going to use. Anything will work. If you don't want to put the cheese on, that's fine as well. It tastes just fine without it, if you're not a fan of the cheese. But let's get started. I'm going to start by browning my ground beef. Along with my goulash, I'm going to be making some asparagus. I've shown this before. It's a matter of putting the desired amount of asparagus in a skillet with a little bit of water, garlic and herb seasoning, and a couple of pats of butter. And then that's all going to cook together and be done when the water is reduced. I'm going to start that on a medium-high flame, like so. I'll go ahead and add my dehydrated onions, where those will get to softening up as the meat cooks. And I've got one of these tools for the ground beef, getting it broken up and started. So this is always a good standby meal that we have made I don't know how many times. Eaten it all my life anyway, since I've been able to eat. I better go ahead and get my cup of pasta going. Got that going on a high flame. And we'll just play like that pot of water is not there, so it'll go ahead and boil. Now that the beef is cooked, I'll go ahead and add my garlic here towards the end. This stuff has a tendency to burn once in a while, so better to put it in last. And that's smelling wonderful. Go ahead and turn the heat down to a simmer. I don't want that garlic to burn. Go ahead and add my can of condensed soup. And can of water. Get that on the mix. Then I'll let that simmer for a little bit. We'll see if we need to add any thickening to it. I pretended like my water wasn't over here, so it went ahead and boiled. Add my cup of pasta. And I'm using large elbow because that's what I have. Then I'll just follow the package directions on the pasta. Now this mixture's chooching right along just fine. I've got my slurry prepared out of the 2 tablespoons of flour, and then got the same amount of water. Won't add it all. See how it does, see how it reacts. Don't want to put too much in it. It certainly smells like when my grandmother used to make this. Not quite there yet. So I will add a little more of the slurry mixture. Heck, go ahead and add it all. And that's probably going to put it just right. I had a big wad of flour right there, look like. Get rid of that. Look, it made a dumpling. Yeah, that's going to be just perfect. Let that simmer just a little bit longer. Start my asparagus. I'm going to go ahead and start it on a medium-high heat. Get that water boiling, and then I'm going to cover it. Let it cook about 5 or 6 minutes till desired tenderness. Looking pretty solid now. How it's supposed to be. Just one of these basic no frills meal. Of course, wouldn't be a complete meal without a piece of garlic toast. Just some butter and granulated garlic. Go ahead and pop it into the toaster. Oh yeah, that's doing, we'll call it fine and dandy. And the asparagus is doing well, the pasta's processing nicely, so we ought to have everything come out about even. We'll go ahead and cover the asparagus. Let that steam. Pasta is ready, so I'll go ahead and drain it. And spill about half of it in the sink. Let that drain just a little bit more. I'm going to add the pasta to the mix. And stir that in. Bread's ready. And lastly, I'm going to top it with cheese. That should be plenty. And again, if you don't like cheese, don't put it on there. It's just good without it. But that'll all melt in there together and make a nice little dish. That's just about done. That's going to be pretty good. And I almost forgot my sugar. And I'll just go ahead and mix that all together. Give that cheese a little better chance to melt, as well as the sugar to dissolve. And that'll just balance it out real nice. And that's a heck of a lot better than any hamburger helper I've ever had. It's time to plate up. The asparagus. Grab my garlic toast. Yeah, I'm going to play with my food a little bit. Now for the main dish. Perfect. Probably could use a little bigger spoon, but this will be okay. Get a nice heaping helping of this stuff. That should be plenty, and then I can proportion that out and have it for lunch for the next few days. Well, let's dig in. Try out some of my asparagus. That's just perfect. Terrible, just fresh out of the garden. Let's try some of this goulash. Yep. That's pretty good stuff too. Then of course the garlic toast. I'm going to go ahead and eat off camera, but once again, this has been making my grandmother's goulash. Thank you for watching.